Hello, welcome back to Mr. Obsolete's Vintage Homesteading. Today we're going to be out cutting up a third tree. This is a really weird deal. We had 3 trees all fall in the exact same spot from 3 different directions. So anyway, we're using our little Homelite Super Easy Automatic. They're made about 1986. It's a 40.9 cc. There's a 3/8 pitch chain on it. And anyway, it takes forever to get warmed up, so we'll come over and take a look at the tree first and do a little branching, and then we'll come back and light the saw off. Okay, well, we just took a picture of the tree there, so you can see at the far end where I get that twig sticking up. That's the end where it broke off. Then we'll come along here and branch it with our little Evansville axe. Okay, I wanted to just talk briefly about the equipment we're using today. When I first started cutting, the saw was running quite rich. I think it's really weird. I got up really early this morning and it was really cold out. It was running absolutely perfect. That's about 25 degrees warmer now. It's way off. So little saws are finicky, even though this is the least finicky of all the small saws I own. You can see what a big difference made when I got it cutting there. It's a really powerful little saw. And anyway, I talked about these in other videos, these log tongs. I was up in the forest quite some time ago on my trail bike and went up to an old abandoned logging site that had shut down in the 1930s. There was a creek that ran through there, and I was just overlooking at the stream and stuff, and I saw these down on the stream bed on the bottom. I pulled them out, and they were rusted solid and really pitted. But you can see they work great now. The thing is, the steel in these is superb. This will hold a edge like you won't believe. It's probably as good as a knife. And I've used these and used these, so anyway, that was just a lucky find and part of Northwest history. So anyway, you can see how easy it pulled these logs up here. So I'll get the sawhorse set up and cut them up. Alright, well, this is my portable sawhorse I've been using for years. You can see all the battle scars on the poor old thing. And I made it out of wood. My son had ordered a Treasure, an outdoor train car, and so we had the pallet, and so I took all the wood out of it and built this. Actually, I had enough, I gave one to my buddy too, but that's how easy it is to set up. Just flop it out there, make sure it's seated up, and we'll start loading up the logs here. Alright, I'll get the saw started and be right back. Well, makes quick work. Get this one up on the stand and start cutting that. and easy. Well, I'll get the tractor moved up here and get loaded up. Okay, time to get loaded up using the pickaroon. We'll come up and get the rest of it. Well, there we go, a full load. So, what's next is vintage chainsaw BS. Okay, well, before I get into vintage chainsaw BS, I wanted to talk about the trees that I've been cutting up and talk about really strange things that happen. There were 3 trees that fell down in the same exact spot and from different directions. So what we had originally, we had one that was like this. It had a extra branch on it. Here's the first one to fall down like so. Then the second one was over here. It fell down on top of this one. And then this one fell on top, and they were just exactly like that, all piled on one another. So I'll have to go back and watch one of our older videos from recently here. You can see me cutting it up in the different places, but talk about dumb luck. And the really nice thing is when they fell down, they didn't hit any equipment or sheds or anything. Okay, well, their little saw here is a Homelite Super Easy Automatic. Stands for automatic oiling. Also has a overriding manual oiler on it too, which is unusual for such a small saw. This was made about 1986. This 40.9 cc or 2.5 cubic inches. The power head is 11.1 pounds without a bar and chain. Features on this is several things that are nice. For a little bitty saw, it's got a full 3/8 pitch chain. It's got a 16-inch bar. The one thing that makes this saw very unusual, I've talked about in other videos, is a full wrap bar. So you can cut, almost all of these came with just a half wrap bar. Then the muffler has a great big shield on it to protect it. So I believe these were probably designed for the Pacific Northwest here. So anyway, like I say, it's got a lot of unusual features. Another one, and when you put the throttle on for the high throttle setting here, actuates a decompression valve. There again, it's only 2.5 cubic inch, but yesterday when I was pulling the rope through, the knot came through the handle here, so I double knotted it and it came through also. So I put a nut on the string so it couldn't go through, and then the rope broke. So I had to redo that to get it back in operation. But little saws like this are kind of finicky, and every one has its weird features. This one, it's warm today, so this one vapor locks very easily, which it did on me. Made it a little hard to start. But in the cold weather, it runs great. But the other weird thing is when you go to start it just without the throttle lock on, it doesn't want to start unless you just really pull it through to spin it up. I think the electronic ignition on these things are a little bit suspect at times. This saw has had a lot of use. It was donated to us by Mr. C a number of years back. Did a video on that. You can go back and watch it. But anyway, when I first started cutting, you could see that the was running rich. But I got up early in the morning when it was nice and cold and adjusted the carb, fired it right up and warmed it up, ran perfect. When it did the first cuts and stuff, it was running rich, and the temperature had gone up about 25 degrees. So this thing is very temperamental when it comes to temperature. So, like I say, all these little saws have their glitches and stuff. Every one you got to go through the learning curve to find all their weird hiccups. But you can see for a 40cc or 41cc saw, when it's tuned perfect, it's a real performer with that nice big 3/8 chain on it. Most little saws like this have a 3/8 low profile or a 1/4 inch. The other thing, which is really weird on these most Homelites, is the exhaust note. It's tremendous. You'd think you're running a 100cc saw with a straight stack on it. And you've got a big muffler, but they're very noisy. So always wear your ear protection running older Homelites. So anyway, these are, like I say, with a full wrapper, a rare piece. And I'm glad to have one. Enjoy running it, so you can find one even if it's a half wrap. You got some mechanical skill. I'd recommend getting one. Run them in the cold weather. Vintage is best, and we'll see you on the next exciting vintage video.